Hello, thank you for joining me for today's catalogue launch video. My name is Tracy Held. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia. For my project, I'm using the Delicate Desert Suite, which can be found on page 42 of your catalogue. I will show you the individual pictures, but that's the suite that we're using. What's in the suite? We have the Desert Details stamp set, and it has matching dies. There's some fun pieces in these dies. Those two are sort of sentiment bits or frames. You've got that which does a border, that's just a decorative piece. Those two will cut out those two flowers in the stamp set. And this is, I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be a leaf or a frilly flower, but it's just a pretty decorative piece. Other things that are in the stamp set are this faux velvet trim, and that's in Pale Papaya. You can see I haven't opened that one yet, but I'm going to be playing with that really shortly. We've got these adhesive back gold sequins. So these come in different sizes. You've got the teardrop, a bigger circle, a smaller circle, and little moon-shaped bits. We've then got a DSP pack. The DSP comes in warmer and cooler shades, greens and greys, and then your pale papayas and Cajun crays. And the reverse side of the DSP. Okay, that one we maybe need to turn a little bit because then you can see it. That's what we've got on the reverse side of the DSP. And this is one of those larger suites which actually has a second pack of DSP. This is the dry brush metallics DSP. And I really like this as well. You've got your two different colors and it's got that gold shine to it. Now that we've seen the suite, let me show you the card that we're going to make. That's my card. The belly band slides off and it opens like that. I really like the DSP and the colors in this, so I wanted to make a card that was showing off some of that DSP. These are the measurements that you're going to need to make this card. Let's get started. I'm going to do it in the exact same colors. Would be interesting to see how it comes out in the other colors. Maybe I'll give that one a try later on. Starting off with my card base, we're going to score this at 3.5 centimeters. (14 centimeters). And 22 centimeters. If you're working in inches, you're scoring at 1 1/4, 5 1/2, and 8 3/4 inches. And then we're going to fold it along the score line so that it comes like that. First fold on that one, then you're folding back and that piece is going to fold over, and give that a good press with your bone folder. It's not going to lie perfectly flat, but that's fine because you are going to have the belly band that's going over it. Now all we're going to do is stick our DSP onto the card. Now you can mix your paper or use whichever one you want on whichever piece you like. I really like that dry brushed with the gold, so I wanted that to be my biggest piece that I was using. This one, I like the colors in it. Now you'll see that this strip is ever so slightly wider than the next one. And just make sure that you're sticking this onto the right side so that you've got all your DSP on the pieces that are outside the card. You don't want to stick it on the wrong side. Now let's do some stamping. Normally my go-to color with Cajun Craze is Pale Papaya, and you can see on this DSP the Cajun Craze and the Pale Papaya work really well together. But what I've just discovered is that the Cajun Craze looks really nice on your petal pink as well. So we're mixing and matching the colors a little bit here because I've got the Pale Papaya there, but I'm stamping onto my petal pink. You're going to stamp 2 of those. And then we're going to cut them out with our die. There's our cutout pieces. Now I always like to decorate the inside of my card, and I do the envelopes matching as well. Just need a scrap to stamp off onto because I'm going over the edge here. And we'll just stamp the flower onto the corner over there. While I've got my stamp out, let's just stamp my sentiment as well. When I'm cutting down my cardstock to fit the inserts, I always land up with all of these little strips. And I found that those strips work perfectly for my little skinny sentiments. So I always keep those. Those are going to be 1 centimeter wide. So when I cut my inserts, I cut to 20 centimeters and then cut it down to 10. So I've got lots of these little strips that are all left over. As easy as that. That's all our stamping done. Let's stick our insert onto the inside of my card. Now to make the belly band, we're going to do some scoring on that as well. Always make sure that you've got your blade out of the way, because we all know what a disaster it is if you cut instead of score. So for my belly band, I'm going to score this at 6.7 centimeters. And 17.4. And if you're working in inches, that's 2 3/8 and 6 7/8 inches. And making sure we've got our card the right way up. We're just going to fold those scores around the card. It should sit nicely, that it's got enough room that it's going to wiggle up and down, come on and off easily, but it's sitting fairly tight. And what I do is I just put some glue on either end of those strips. And that's going to hold that. Now, I've cut out one of these background dies or frames or whatever we want to call it. So that one over there out of the Cajun Craze as well. And I've cut a white piece out of that. So these can be used individually, or the one actually fits really nicely on top of the other one. So you can do whatever you like. And what I've done on this one, let's put it back on. You can see I've gone and I've cut out those little zigzag strips just because then we see the DSP through the middle. But what you can do if you leave them in, if you were having a sentiment or some ribbon, you can actually put that through so those can act like some decorative edging over your strip. For our purposes now, I'm going to cut them out. There we go. And I'm going to stick my white piece on top here. What I've done here is I've cut these pieces out of this same designer series paper. I could have used plain gold or the distressed gold, but I actually like that it gives just a hint of the color in the paper over there. So I've cut those out of that. You could put adhesive sheet behind this. I haven't, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glue behind the thicker pieces of this. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have glue completely behind everywhere. And we're going to stick one over there and one in the top corner. Now, when you cut these out, don't throw away the pieces that come out here. You can actually use them. And once I'm done here, I'll show you a card that I did where I actually used those pieces that came out. I think sometimes we tend to just throw away pieces as they come out, but don't do that. Hang on to them because you actually can use them. This time around, I'm just sticking my flowers flat. You could pop them up onto dimensionals, but I'm going to stick the flowers flat and then my sentiment onto the dimensionals. Very easy way to give your sentiments a little edge, just cut it at an angle. And I've got a piece of Cajun Crows, which is slightly wider than my sentiment. So I said to you that was 1 centimeter. This is 1.2 centimeters. That would be a 1/2 inch. And my sentiment strip is probably 3/8 of an inch. So you're getting just a tiny little bit of color around the edges. And then I'm going to just follow the angle that I've cut those to give a little bit of color on the side. So you definitely want to cut your white before you stick it down, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get the edging. Couple of dimensionals on the back. And we'll pop our sentiment across the middle over there. It looks like I cut this one a little bit shorter than I'd cut that one, but that doesn't matter. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because we want to make sure that we're sticking that across here, but you want to get glue just behind where the belly band's going to go. You don't want it higher than that, because then obviously you're going to stick your card closed. I guess it's a matter of what you prefer. You can either put your glue behind your piece, or you can put it straight onto the belly band. I'm going to use a little bit of guesswork. We're going to pop it on over there. Trying to line that up, that it's roughly in the middle of my belly band. And just remember that if you want the sentiment higher or lower, you can always just shift the belly band. And no card is complete without some bling. I need to order some more of these sequins because I've used up a lot of them, but they are really pretty and they're really easy to work with. And I think just because I haven't given as much space here, I'm going to use the little crescents rather than the little circles on the sentiment. Right, so there's our card. Shows off the DSP. I love these flowers in the stamp set. I think that we're going to see a lot of those, and I think that those are absolutely beautiful in the stamp set. We've got sending warm rays your way, your smile is pure magic, let the fun begin, and you are what sunshine feels like. So they're really nice sentiments, but there's plenty of sets that you can add sentiments from. I just want to show you another couple of cards that I've made with this set. That's one of them, using the Celebrate embossing folder from the annual catalogue. It comes with 2 of the smaller embossing folders. This one's happy birthday, the other one's got congratulations. And here's what I was hinting at earlier. I've kept the pieces that came out from those cutouts, and I've used them as extra bits to decorate on this card, so don't throw those away. You will be able to use them and they look quite effective. And then here's one that I've done in the soft succulent, and here's what I was saying. This one I've used that greeting from the Something Fancy stamp set. I really like that one. I didn't forget your birthday, I'm just stretching out the celebration. That's really nice, because how often do we look and forget, oops, it's somebody's birthday today and I haven't posted them a card. And this is using that decorative edging piece that I showed you earlier. This one over here. So that you can't use directly against an edge because it actually cuts on both edges, but you can cut out your strip and then go and stick it on wherever you like on the card. I hope that you like this card. If you like my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Trace of Creativity. Enjoy all the projects that we've got shared with you. I know that there's lots of videos, so you've got almost 2 days worth of viewing. And remember that you can go back and watch them at any time. Thank you for watching my video. Until next time, bye.